Democracy at Work with another Wolff Responds. I want to talk urgently to you today about an ongoing outrage. The pressure from employers across the country, individually, through their industry, through their industrial associations, to work with the president, Mr. Trump, and the Republicans, and unfortunately many of the Democrats, to quote-unquote reopen the economy. This is an outrageous demand because the workplaces of this country, the factories, the offices, and the stores, remain fundamentally unsafe. And that's not because the virus is all that dangerous. Of course it is. But the reasons the workplaces are unsafe is because neither the corporations nor the government they control has done anywhere near what has to be done to make workplaces safe. It is unconscionable to pressure people to choose between going without a job or income on the one hand, or risking their lives and those of their loved ones on the other. And all because corporations don't want to spend money to do what has to be done. The mass testing, the mass tracing of people who test positive, the reconfiguration of workplaces so they are safe, that we are 6 feet or more apart from one another. The testing that has to go on all the time. You don't get a positive test on Monday, you might get it on Friday. And everybody needs to know if we're going to be safe. So you have to have an army of testers and cleaners and disinfectants, and you have to produce the tests and the masks and the gloves. You know, none of that has been done adequately, and until it has, you should not accept to be forced to choose between a job and income on the one hand and risking your life on the other. Especially not when the only thing holding us back from safe workplaces is spending the corporate money to make the workplace safe. Capitalists have an ugly history of not caring for and not spending the money to make workplaces safe. That's why we have an OSHA administration, safety and health, because the private sector won't do it and never has for its workers, resists every effort unions or others make for safe workplaces. Don't be fooled. One more point, and perhaps it's the most important. Whether or not a workplace opens has to be decided by all the people involved, not just by the corporate leadership at the top. Not some handful of people on the board of directors who never set foot, in most cases, in the workplace. They call all the shots. They make all the decisions, because that's what employer means in capitalism. If ever you wanted a demonstration of how unacceptable and undemocratic capitalism is, we're in the middle of it now. It ought to be a democratic decision. All of the people in a workplace are taking a chance if they go back. All of the people are suffering the unemployment and the lost income that they now suffer if they don't go back. Therefore, all should have an equal voice in deciding whether and when it's safe to go back. Not to have some boss tell you, in effect, to risk your life because that boss was too cheap to make it safe. Don't be fooled. This is not just a virus problem, and it's not just an economic crash. We are being brought face to face with the fact that the undemocratic nature of capitalism is now threatening our lives. It's time to change the system. This is Richard Wolff with Democracy at Work.